Last year, we were backstabbed and betrayed by a friend who had been involved in our lives for quite some time, and this person had naturally built a friendship with our kids over the years, particularly Macy, and the rest of the details of that story don't matter, but as always, the goodness of God and what He teaches us through it all does. So when everything came to light, I confronted this person, forgave them, and then completely cut all ties with them and removed all of their access to us because boundaries are biblical, and yes, sometimes they do need to be that extreme. One night shortly after, when I was putting Macy to bed, she randomly asked about that person. I explained in kid-friendly terms what happened and told her that unfortunately we would no longer be seeing or hearing from her anymore, and Macy's first response without 1 second of hesitation was, but she doesn't know Jesus. Who is going to tell her about Jesus if you and Daddy aren't in her life? And when I tell you, those words hit me like a load of bricks, because Macy then started crying and saying, but I want her to be in heaven one day. She wasn't calculating the offense or asking for details about what happened. The only thing that she could think about was whether or not someone who hurt us knew Jesus. And in that moment, I had a whole new perspective on childlike faith. When we think childlike faith, we often think about praying the big prayers or asking for the big things or believing with full faith for the huge miracles, but not the moments like these. The praying for the ones who hurt you and still being so concerned about their eternity. The immediate forgiveness and genuine love from the most pure heart posture. So fast forward a few more months after all that happened, and our church had a table set up after a service where you could write down the name of someone who you were praying for their salvation on a white flag, and they were going to stick them outside of the church as an act of faith. Well, what do you think my Macy girl did? She marched right on over and she wrote that person's name on the flag. She didn't forget, and she didn't stop praying, and while that relationship with us was completely broken in the flesh, we have still warred in the spirit over this person's life. Now, yes, boundaries are meant to protect us from further harm, but they never give us permission to stop hoping for someone's redemption. And somewhere along the way as adults, it is so easy for us to lose the ability to look at someone who wounded us and still see a person that God desperately loved. God used my precious 6-year-old at the time to show me a new level of what childlike faith really is. It has completely changed the way that I have loved people ever since, and it will forever ongoing, because we've all dealt with people or situations like this in our own regard. So I pray that next time you're in one, this gives you new eyes to childlike faith too, when you find yourself struggling with unforgiveness or any bitterness. It's the kind of faith that doesn't just believe that God can move mountains for us, but believes that He can still reach the people who wounded us. It's not just trusting God with your own future. It is loving people enough to still care about theirs, even when they've given you every reason not to. And maybe that's why Jesus said we must become like little children, because children haven't yet learned all of the ways that we as adults justify withholding love from someone.